Oh, good morning, everybody. It's about 7 o'clock. I'm still asleep, and uh, I'm up. I'm out in the hammock hanging out. It's been a while, right? So, hey, everybody. If you're new here, I'm Jen, and I am an elder Gen X, and I just got married to the most wonderful man on the entire planet. He happens to be a Honduran national, and he's quite a few years my junior. Um, However, I'm like, I'm giddy. I'm giddy happy. We are, if the last week is an indication of how our relationship is going to go in the future, it's going to be great because we have definitely had to overcome some diversity and some diversity. I can't even think. I'm like so giddy, I'm stupid. Some adversity. and yeah, but we made it through. I'll tell you, I mean, it was down to the wire with paperwork, even though we thought we had all the paperwork. It's crazy. Just crazy, crazy, crazy. Um, yeah. So this story, like, okay, so if you've been following along, I had to get all kinds of paperwork from the United States, which was a little bit of insanity to get because everything had to be translated and apostilled, and I had to get a background check. I had to get a paper that proved that I was single and eligible to get married. Um, so I finally rounded up. I had no clue where to get this stuff. I had no clue what getting stuff apostilled meant. I had no clue. And I finally figured all that out and got the paperwork and got it translated, got it apostilled, blah, blah, blah. Get down to Honduras, and Nolan and I have to get blood tests. You have to get tested. I think it's for anything that you can pass along. I know HIV is a big one. They want to make sure you don't have HIV, and they want to make sure that you're not. Well, they want to make sure your partner knows that um, if you have anything that would prevent you from having children. It's a very traditional country, Honduras. A very interesting, but traditional. Very Christian here. Lots of churches. Um, I mean, Tegucigalpa has a statue of Jesus Christ looking down over it, so there's that. Um, so it's kind of very traditional that way, very kind of old fashioned. So we had to get our blood test, and then we had to get just a very brief exam with the doctor. He just basically listened to our heart and lungs and said, "Okay, you're good." Took our blood pressure, that sort of stuff. But um, when we first went down to get that, we got the blood test and everything, but we didn't get the health check done. We didn't realize we didn't realize we needed it. I guess I don't know. I miss. No one speaks fluent Spanish, of course. That's his first language. I don't speak very much Spanish at all. And so when he was conversing with them, like, I couldn't tell what he was saying, like, oh, I didn't know if he went and went, we need the test to get married, or if he just went, oh, we need, the HIV test, and la la la. So I couldn't tell. But long story short, we got all our paperwork together, or so we thought. Went down to the wedding place, and we turning in all our paperwork, and they're like, "Nope, you're missing this, you're missing that, you're missing." I was like, yeah. And some of Nolan's paperwork expired. That was the fun part. So he went and had to redo a couple of his papers. No big deal. Then they were like, "Okay, it will take 1 week to get back." So we're waiting that week, and I think I just needed a copy of my passport. Um, the guy mistakenly told me that we needed a copy of the outside of my passport, which is not what we needed. We needed a copy of the stamp. When you come into Honduras, they give you a stamp and they allot you, like you can stay for 90 days, up to 90 days. The person has the discretion. They can give you up to 90 days to stay in Honduras. And then, um, in my case right now, every 90 days I have to leave Honduras and sort of Central America. I'd have to go to Belize, at least to Belize or Mexico, um, for 72 hours and then come back. Uh, that will change as soon as we get our actual marriage license and I can get permanent residency here, which should be fairly easy. Although I'm gonna have to. Honduras, Honduras, thou art not my friend all the time. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to get my criminal background check done again because they keep that paper when you get married. They don't just get copies and. Yeah. No, I have to get that part done. Yeah. But anyway, on with the story. So we finally, we got all the everything we needed, and we're just waiting on no one's paperwork, or so we thought. And so two things happened. No, well, back. In Honduras, when you are a resident here, you get a Honduran ID card. So not only just needed his regular ID card, his identification card. He rides a motorcycle, so he has to have a motorcycle license. And we have the car, he drives the car, so he has to have a driver's license. Well, Honduras has supply chain issues, they had supply chain issues even before COVID. It's just the nature of a third world country. They don't always have everything, and when they're out of stuff, they're just simply out of stuff. Um, I do not know, I have never heard of anybody in the United States that went down to get their um, driver's license and was told, oh, we're out of materials. We can't make your driver's license. No, they just go, hey, do you want it mailed or do you want to wait? Like, we're so spoiled in the U.S. So anyway, in Honduras, they oftentimes run out of materials. So when Nolan went to get his driver's license, he took the test and all that stuff. That's a whole story. Maybe I'll tell it someday. He took the whole test and all that stuff and passed it. And they were like, oh, but we're out of materials to actually make the license. So they gave him a piece of paper that basically said, yeah, it's a temporary driver's license. We're out of materials. And he's just waiting for that. Not, oh, well, email you. Fine. So, fast forward on that. We're waiting for Nolon's papers to get married. And he gets an email that says, we have the materials, come down and get the physical license done. So, I can't remember the timeline now because this was last week and so much has happened. I think we went down on I think it was maybe Wednesday. That he went down and power was out, so they couldn't do anything. We just went and they were like, power's out. Come back tomorrow. Okay. So he gets up early Thursday morning and goes down, and basically they tell him when he gets there, like, you don't have long pants on. We can't do this because you don't have long pants on. Hello, Honduras. So anyway, he comes back, he gets his long pants, he goes down, and then the system is down. It's like, okay. So they got his regular ID card and said, we'll just hang on to this, and when the system comes back up, we'll do the card, come back later this afternoon, and get your thing. Fine. So we go back, or he goes back over to find out about the papers that he needed, that they said should be done on Thursday. Goes pick those up. Guess what? Only one of them's done. They tell him, oh, call, maybe it'll be done, the other one will be done this afternoon. Maybe not. Of course it's not. I'm trying to remember. Oh my gosh, no, it was Friday. No, it was Thursday he couldn't get his driver's license. I can't remember. Anyway, long story short, Friday comes along, and we're like, we really want to get this paperwork turned in, and so, because I go back the 3rd, so we wanted to make sure we um, got our paperwork turned in, and it takes, like, from the time you turn your paperwork in, it takes like a week to get your wedding date. So Friday he goes down, he gets the last paper that we need um, to get married. Gets the last paper. We have all the paperwork. Okay, fine. We're gonna go down there. That same morning, I think it was when he went down, and his driver's license was his ID was at the driver's license place, so he could get his driver's license. We get down there, and I swear to you, everything was there except we needed his ID, which of course was the driver's. Luckily, the gal was like, hey, okay, he explained to her where it was, and she's like, okay, go get your ID, get a picture of it, text it to me, that will do. Yay, so we get that. We went to get that, and we went back to pick up his driver's license thing, but he was in shorts again, so he couldn't pick it up. He had to come all the way back to the house. So he could put on long pants, so we could drive to the driver's license place and he could pick up his driver's license and his ID. Honduras is a really weird place. So then we had all the paperwork in. They told us everything was fine, They gave us a wedding date, which was yesterday, and apparently that happened. It did happen. And so I think it was Wednesday afternoon. The gal from down there sends us a note, and what had happened was when we went to go get our medical papers, they're like, oh, we need your ID. And I'm like, oh, okay, here's my driver's license. I wasn't even thinking. And then the final paper they gave us had my name and my ID number on it, which was my Florida driver's license number. And I looked at that and I was like, and I told Alan, I was like, we should get a copy of my ID, because I think they have a copy of my passport, but that number's not going to match, and blah, blah, blah. Well, at the end of the day, they could not accept the paper with the ID number and the Florida ID number. They needed it to have my passport number. So we were back down to the blood work place when they do the exam, and I mean, just like we went down there to try to fix this, and the doctor was in a conference for the morning, and we had to leave for 2 hours and come back. I mean, it was like Thursday afternoon at like 3:30, and we're like finally getting that paper to the wedding place, and our wedding's the next day. It was kind of crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. But through the whole thing, I mean, I can't even tell you. I can be a little high-strung and overreactive, and sometimes imagine that. And but Nolan is just he's so grounded. He's so grounded, and he's so just, what can we do? We can't change it, so, we go down, the doctor isn't here, getting upset over it isn't going to change that, so let's not be upset. Let's just come back in 2 hours, and if they're here, they're here, and cross that bridge. And he's really, he's very, very good for me that way. Very good for me that way. And I'm, I feel so blessed to have him in my life. And I know there's things about me that he just feels so blessed to have. Part of the, when we first started dating and all that, part of what I decided was that so many of my past relationships have been based on kind of being upset and wanting somebody to be something they were not. And when it started to become apparent that Nolan and I were having real feelings for each other and not just kind of having fun, which was how things started, um, I just decided like I was just not going to get angry with him. I'm not going to get angry or upset about stuff, and just gonna let him either step up or I was just like, he's either gonna step up or he's not. And to my surprise, he every time I loosened the reins and just let Nolan be alone and do what he was gonna do, he would step up. He would just step up, and oh, crazy. I mean, the insecurities that I've had from past relationships, my background, or like and bad relationships that I've had, and then all of a sudden here's this man that just kind of, when I let him do what he is going to do, he usually exceeds my expectations, and it's crazy. It's just crazy, and I don't know. I'm so content right now. I'm so content right now, and it was funny because Nolan was so kind of cavalier about the whole thing, and I was like, "Oh, we're getting married. Are you nervous?" No, no, I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. He's like, it will be no real different because we're already together. We're already committed, and it's just a piece of paper, and we'll make things easier. But no, no, no. Well, then we went to the wedding ceremony, and the man who performed our wedding was so nice. I liked him a lot. No, I said no. I go, he's so nice. He just seems so nice. He goes, I think he's gay. Oh well, whatever. Um, very very nice man, and he was talking about all the responsibilities of being married and how it's the center of the family, and it's we have to become the most important thing to each other, and how we shouldn't fight, how we need to talk to each other when something's wrong. We need to talk to each other, and just all these things. Very 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 good advice, very good advice. And I think we both sat there and we sort of had a profound moment that, I mean, we don't sit down and discuss like, oh, our relationship all that much. We really don't. But every now and then we do. Not everybody does when you're in a relationship. If you don't, I don't think there's something wrong. There's something wrong every now and then talking about things. But so much of what he was saying are things that we have already integrated into our relationship. Um, he doesn't let things hang. If something upsets him, he says. And he's taught me to do that. And that's one of the problems. I used to let things build up. And then I'd be like, from 0 to 110 with the anger, because it's built up. And if I'd said something to begin with, it would have been no big deal. And, yeah, so he's kind of taught me that. But, like, all these things are things we kind of already started doing. And I think we both realized in that moment, like, yeah, this is real. We're getting married. We are connected. We are, spiritually, emotionally, physically, I guess, connected. And it was pretty profound. And yeah, when we walked out of that ceremony, and it was a very small ceremony. Mostly his family. We're in Honduras, and I know nobody in Honduras. And we're in Tegucigalpa, which is not really um, wedding destinations, but I think like it's rough here. I mean, it's rough here. I can live here with Marlon and we can do our thing, but I really don't want my friends and family to come and visit me in Tegucigalpa. If you want to come to see me in Honduras, Honduras. I say it wrong all the time because I'm not Spanish. Um, we'll go to Roatan. You can come to Roatan. We'll go to Roatan. We'll see you in Roatan because that is very nice. Rotan's beautiful. It's a touristy spot. Blah, blah, blah. The rest of Honduras is it's rough. It's poor. It's a poor country. It's a third world country, and it's very poor. And there are nice areas, but the government here really doesn't care. And the people, I mean, how do you explain it? The people in Honduras are poor. The economy is bad. The average Honduran makes about $3 to $4 an hour. Hello, Americans, wake up. You are so lucky. Um, so yeah, I mean, and the government not caring, it's like no one ever just got. We were talking about this the other day, and I said, the people here cannot care. This would be such a beautiful country, but and it is, and parts of it are very beautiful, but there's trash everywhere. The government doesn't bother to have it picked up, and the people living here are too poor to give a F. Um, when you are worried about where your next meal will come from, when you are worried about where you're going to live next day, you are not so worried about the trash that's on the street. And that's just reality. And that is something that Americans could really stand to learn. Um, so much is said, like, I don't know, the economy being bad is a very bad thing for everything all the way around. And these poor third world countries are a great example of why that is. And that's because the closer you get to survival mode, the less you care about the environment, the less you care about human rights, the less you care about, just everything. Um, if you don't have the money for it, here you don't have it. And Honduras it makes it easy for people to be poor. It has to make it easy for people to be poor because they are. You drive around here and, I can't even tell you. At first, I was getting a kick out of it. Like, oh my gosh, there's a guy's driving around with no license plate. Oh look, there's another one. Oh look, there's another one. I mean, it's like it's not even uncommon. It's not even common. I got bored. I was like taking pictures of all the no license plates. Like, this is kind of funny. At this point, I've seen so many. It's just like whatever. And I mean, and I know like it's so common here. It happened to Nolan twice before he got his driver's license. Where the police will just be out on the road. They'll just pick a part of the road and do like a checkpoint, and it's just random. Like they'll let 25, 30 cars or maybe 100. Who knows? or maybe they'll pull everybody over, and they want to see the registration for the car, and they want to see the driver's service license. And so when I first got back to before Nolan got his driver's license and did all that stuff, we were in Rotan. Um, he was driving, and we got pulled over, and of course, he didn't have a driver's license. We had the registration for the car because we rented a car, but no driver's license. And basically, I can't remember, 100 and I think it was 120 lempiras, which is kind of like $5. Lempiras are not worth much. Um, we kind of bought half of lunch for the policeman, and he just let us go. And that's Honduras. That's Honduras. How it works here. But anyway, I digress. I'm like all over the place this morning. Again, I'm giddy happy. I'm married. Oh my God. And then, yeah, I'm married to the most wonderful man. So, yeah, this is my Monday blog, and I think today is, I don't know, is today Saturday? I think today's Saturday. I'm gonna need to do another vlog here in like 2 days. Yeah. Again, like, subscribe, comment. I need more subscribers. And that I can get more videos out on time. All right. I will talk to y'all later. Um, have a good one. I hope you can be halfway as happy as I am today. Okay? I'll try. I can't get my hand. I need my selfie stick. That's how am I gonna do this? This and that. Ah, there we go. Ciao.